Rivalry renewed. That's the major storyline tonight as the State College Little Lions take on the Altoona Mountain Lions for the first time in over 9 years. Thank you so much for joining us on a cold evening here in State College, Pennsylvania. I'm John Gross, joined alongside Cooper Deck. Coop, these two teams very excited to get this rivalry going once again.
And definitely, right as they were coming out on the field in warm-ups, you could tell that they were pumped. Like you said, it's been a very long time. Altoona very close when it comes to proximity, just about 40 minutes south of State College, so they make the trip up here. They have Mitchell Lawhead, a Lehigh commit, had a huge game in their double overtime win over Carlisle, over 200 yards in that game. So that's someone definitely to look out for with this Altoona team. And they really have nothing to lose. They're in the latter parts of their season. They got to go out there and just leave it all on the field.
State College 7-1 of the season, 4-1 in conference play. Little Lions definitely the favorites in this matchup. Who are you looking towards to have a big game tonight?
Drazen Green had a great game last week. Of course, you have Isaiah Edwards as well backing him up. They can really interchange as much as they want to. And then Tommy Freiberg, one of the best gunslingers in Pennsylvania. He's getting D1 looks, mid-major looks as well. So you really have to account for so many players on the State College team. We'll see how Altoona decides to do that.
State College and Altoona for the first time since 2009 kickoff. Just after this quick break, stick with us. You're watching high school football here on CNET.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I direct your attention to midfield for a special recognition. As we celebrate the rich tradition of State College and Altoona football, the State College School District Athletic Department football program, as well as the countless State College alumni, current athletes, and families would like to extend a warm welcome to Altoona as they return to the Mid-Penn Conference for football. Joining the captains and State College AD Chris Weekland and High School Principal Curtis Johnson for the coin toss is Altoona AD Phil Riccio and High School Principal Andrew Neely. State College and Altoona last played in 2009. We are looking forward to renewing that great competition with our neighbors in Altoona, bring. Please join us in a warm welcome to the players, coaches, administration, as well as the fans and families of our friends from Altoona. Altoona has won the toss and will receive to begin the game. We'd like to remind fans that registration for tonight's drawing to win 2 free movie passes to see The Crimes of Grunewald will close at the end of the first quarter. It's free to enter, courtesy of WJAC and The Big Bang Theory. Visit the WJAC promotional table in the parklet to enter. Tonight's Friday Night Rivals broadcast by WJAC will be available to watch in its entirety next week on WJACTV.com. Just search for Friday Night Rivals.
And welcome back into Memorial Fields here in State College, Pennsylvania. State High taking on Altoona for the first time since 2009. It'll be the 47th all-time meeting. The Little Lions lead the series over the Mountain Lions. 28 wins for State College, 17 for Altoona, and 1 tie. Temperature here in State College, 53 degrees, but it certainly doesn't feel like that. A strong breeze here in central Pennsylvania. A quintessential fall night as Cam Renfro gets the ball set on the tee. And he'll kick things off. Robbie Farrell back deep to receive with Mitchell Lawhead to his right. Onside kick to start it off. And it's just under the outstretched arms of Cohen Russell.
Russell went down to dive on that one. He had a chance, but with an onside kick, usually that ball's twirling all over the place. He has great hands, probably the best of anyone on the team, but diving, trying to maintain it and bring it in, it's a difficult thing to do. So Altoona catches a break there. They were sleeping definitely.
State College aggressive early on. That's something that we've seen throughout the season from Coach Lintel. We've seen a reverse on a kickoff return, an onside kick right there. Just didn't necessarily pay off, but now we see the Altoona offense. I like to spread things out. Very similar scheme to State College. In fact, State High coach Matt Lintel and Altoona head coach Nick Felis actually have a pretty good relationship. They would sit down, go over X's and O's. Read an article in the Altoona Mirror that detailed their relationship, just working out schemes on napkins, and now here they are coaching against each other. Marcus Day, the start at quarterback. And Lawhead carries towards midfield. Lawhead, a Lehigh commit, picks up 7 and first down.
Lawhead, 51 carries on the year for a total of 230 yards. He's definitely the guy that State High has to isolate.
2nd and 3, Lawhead. Nowhere to go. Nathan Lusk on the stop there.
And I love the hustle by Day, the quarterback. He handed it off and faked the play action, but once it came around and was reversed. He started pushing his running back forward, got him a few extra yards.
3rd down and 3, 11:20 to go here in the first. 7-1 State College against 3-5 Altoona. Day rolls out. Somehow hangs onto the football and gets rid of it out of bounds. It is behind the line of scrimmage. The ball will move backwards. Brings up a 4th down.
Nearly stripped by Kevin Kersinger, the junior. A great play. I don't know how it didn't come out. Nonetheless, 4th down, a great defensive possession there for State College to start off the game. They set the tone now, and we already mentioned it once, John. State College has dominated special teams all year. Altoona has to be on top of their game.
Connor McCarthy had been the primary quarterback for this Altoona squad coming into the game, but tonight we see Marcus Day, and now State College will get the football back, barring a punt, fake, as flags are thrown. And it's against State College. Offsides, Little Lions moves the chains.
Huge break there for Altoona. They'll get just enough yards. It's about 4th and 4 right now, so 1 yard more. They'll move the chains, and that's just a mental mistake. One of the fallbacks, weaknesses of the State College team all year has been the penalties. There's really not many things that they have to improve on that really stick out, but penalties is definitely one of them.
So a fresh set of downs here for the Mountain Lions. Day steps up. No time, and he's swallowed up by the State College front 7. Brought down, loss of a yard. A host of Little Lion defenders make it 2nd down 11, back to the 46. Mountain Lions in their first season back in the Mid-Penn Conference. Left in 2010. Big hole up the gut. And Lawhead into the 2nd level. Moves the chains.
And he has the ability to do that. A huge hole opened up. Give credit to the big men up front. It was wide open. Lawhead just had to get through, and with his speed, he's able to pick up a good chunk of yards.
17 yards on the rush. Moves the chains on Altoona. A strong first drive here, looking to end with some points. Stumbling forward on the read option. It's a solid chunk across the 25 is Marcus Day.
Altoona may even have a faster-paced offense than State College does. Usually State College is the team that's running down their opponent because they're so fast-paced, but Altoona really doesn't waste much time at all.
2nd and 4. Lawhead up the gut, close to the sticks. Be a little bit short. 3rd down and less than a yard for the Mountain Lions on their opening drive. State College got up to 4th down. Punting unit came out, but an offsides penalty kept this opening drive alive. Just over 9 minutes to go here in the first. Wildcat set. Lawhead keeps. Did he get it? Tyson Brennan on the tackle, and that's 4th down.
Brennan's one of those big guys up front for State College who's going to be a nightmare for any offensive lineman that he goes against. They actually lost a little bit there, but nothing significant. A big 4th down play now for Altoona once again.
And again, we'll see the Wildcat from Lawhead. Has Brandon Shunk to his left. 4th and a yard. Lawhead fighting forward, and that's enough. 1st down.
That was a beautiful jump cut by Lawhead. He was going out towards the far side, saw a hole, jumped directly into it, dived forward, just enough for a 1st down. He's really the catalyst of this Altoona offense so far.
Marcus Day now back in the shotgun, 6'4" sophomore quarterback. Give to Lawhead. He just does not go down easily. He's slippery out of the backfield. 2nd down and medium.
And Coach Matt Lintel sent Cohen Russell on the corner blitz coming from the far side on that play. Russell had a chance to bring down Lawhead in the backfield, but unfortunately an arm tackle allowed him to get loose. You can't do that for a player as talented as Lawhead.
Gain of 5, 2nd and 5, 7:40 to go in the first. Day keeps up the gun of the option. 2-yard run, 3rd and 3.
And for a quarterback like Day coming out, one of your first starts all year, taking over in that starting role, you got to be hyped, you got to be pumped up, but it has to be controlled. I've seen a lot of players get out there, overhype themselves, and just be all over the place. But so far, it seems like Day's been very composed, and he's been the leader of this offense so far. I've been very impressed.
7 seconds, 6 seconds now to snap it for Day. 3rd down and 3, 7 minutes to go in the first. And a whistle before the snap. Timeout, Altoona. Coach Felix giving his offense some extra time to get the play off. Impressive opening drive here from Altoona.
Really impressive opening drive so far, and I've never really seen a team come into State College and march down the field like Altoona has. Of course, you got to give the credit to Lawhead and Day, but I think more credit has to go to the offensive line. They've opened up huge holes against this very physical State College defensive line, which is a very, very difficult thing to do. But that was the first really stoppage in play, the first breath that we've been able to take on the field, because Altoona has just been nonstop. And give them credit, it's a very difficult thing to do, run that many plays in that short period of time and not have any mess-ups along the way.
Keep in mind, they did start with the football at about their own 40-yard line after the failed onside kick attempt, so they had really good field position to start this drive off. And now they've marched down to the State College 10, a 3rd down and 3. Lawhead to Day's left. Brant Barnes and Connor Adams in at receiver for the Mountain Lions.
And we haven't seen an attempted pass tonight or a ball thrown in the air. We did see Day drop back to throw, but he never actually threw the ball. So definitely an opportunity for Altoona. I mean, the run has been working very well for them, but that play action is always open with how effective Lawhead has been.
3rd down and 3, 7:01 in the opening quarter. Scoreless between State College and Altoona here on senior night. They will throw. Quick to the outside. And it's short of the first down. Connor Adams on the reception. Brought down at a bounce by Buka.
And that was a great tackle, great containment there. Not only do you have to bring him down, you have to be cognizant of where the first down marker is. Buka was able to get over there and wrap him up and actually bring him back 1 or 2 yards. So this is a lot less manageable of a 4th down than it would have been at the original spot.
4th down and 3. Altoona, they've converted on 2 4th downs on this drive. One was on an offsides by State College, another on a Wildcat rush by Lawhead. 4th and 3 for Day. Second attempt is incomplete. Cohen Russell in coverage. Pass intended for Adams, and State College will take over.
And that was good coverage by Russell. It was also a good throw by Day. Probably should have been caught, but just tipped away by basically the fingertips of Russell there. A comeback route. That's one of the most difficult routes to run and to throw as a quarterback. Nonetheless, State College coming back out on the field for the first time tonight, at least their offensive unit.
We'll see one of the most explosive offenses in all of Pennsylvania, averaging 378 yards per game. Putting up 35 points per outing as well. It's Freiberg at quarterback. Give her on the end to Dresden Green. Not much there for Green, who was just named Penn Live Player of the Week following his very impressive performance last week. 15 carries, 151 yards, that's 61 receiving yards as well, and State College's 35-28 win over Central Dauphin. 2nd and 8 after the 2-yard run, under 6 minutes to go in the first. Scoreless between State College and Altoona. Freiberg up towards the 17.
While Freiberg is really known for his ability to drop back and pass, he has carried the ball 63 times this year for 236 yards, so he does have that in his toolkit if he has to run.
3rd and 2 for State College. Altoona fans making some noise here at Memorial Fields. And Freiburg might have gotten the defense to jump. That is an offside to the defense.
And a nearly identical use of the cadence there by State College for Altoona. They got a first down on the 4th down. State College just gets a first down on their 3rd down, so they get a first without even running a play.
Green shakes off a couple towards the 30. Brought down just along the boundary. Such a shifty back, only a sophomore, has made quite the impact on State College this season.
And he broke a few tackles in the process as well. He's not the biggest guy, but he does have some strength behind him. Finally, at the end of the play, Robbie Farrell was the one to bring him down.
Isaiah Edwards now in. He gets the carry. Hasn't played in either of the last 2 games for State College. Bear bullies his way forward for a first down just short of the 40.
And the most dangerous part about this State College team, I would say, is this running back position. You have Isaiah Edwards and Drazen Green, both of which are very, very good. Some of the best running backs in Pennsylvania, and they can be used interchangeably. Right now, they're both in.
And they're young backs as well. Green, a sophomore. Edwards, a junior. 1st and 10 from the 39. Here's Green. With space. Cross midfield. Drazen Green. Still on his feet. Drazen Green up to the 21-yard line. Showing off the wheels.
And he's so shifty. He's fast. Once he gets into open field, he's hard to catch up to. But if he's in a mob of defenders, he can make a miss. That play right there is a perfect example of that. State College is now driving for the first time.
39-yard carry for Green. He'll get a breather. Edwards. He's showing off the wheels as well inside the 10. First down and goal for State College.
That was a huge hit taken by Brandon Shunk. Isaiah Edwards lowers his shoulder where Green's the smaller running back. He has some strength, but when Edwards is running towards you, he's a guy that you really don't want to have hit you. And right there, Shunk took all of it, but a great tackle as well. A good run by Edwards as he's getting on the board for the first time in a long time for this State High team.
14-yard and the carry for Edwards. 1st and goal from the 9. First pass of the game for State High. Russell comes over to the opposite sideline. Cohen Russell. Touchdown, State College.
We've seen that over and over again all year. Cohen Russell, whether it be in special teams, on offense, a reverse, on a kickoff, it doesn't matter. He loves reversing his step, going towards the opposite side of the field, and he's so successful in doing that because he has breakaway speed. A touchdown for State College. They strike first.
9 yards on the completion of the screen from Freiburg to Cohen Russell. And Renfro's extra points makes it 7-0 Little Lions here over the Altoona Mountain Lions. Strong first drive for State College. Started with it at their 10-yard line. And they go all the way down. A couple big runs from Green and Edwards, capped off by the 9-yard touchdown pass from Freiburg to Cohen Russell. We'll take our first break of today's broadcast. 7-0 State College, up 3:35 to go here in the first.
Tonight's Friday Night Rivals broadcast will be by WJAC. Will be available to watch in its entirety next week on WJACTV.com. Just search for Friday Night Rivals. For highlights of tonight's game, watch WJAC's Friday football final tonight at 11 on 6 News.
State College a 7-0 lead. Now Altoona will look to respond. The Mountain Lions in the white jerseys, State College maroon tops, gray pants. Altoona got deep into State High territory, but their drive stalled out in a 4th down and 3 pass that fell incomplete. John Gross alongside Cooper Deck. It's senior night here for the State College Little Lions. Final home game of the season.
And a cold one at that. We mentioned it earlier. It's about 50 degrees, but it feels a lot colder here at Memorial Field. The wind is definitely a factor, and we just saw Cam Renfrew go up for the extra point, and the ball didn't go nearly as far as it usually does when he kicks it, so it's definitely something that's going to come into play.
This time Renfrew goes deep with it. On the opening kickoff was an onside kick attempt. And a returnable ball for the Mountain Lions. Farrell to the 25.
And last time Altoona started their drive at the 40. Very different now, 15 yards back at the 25. Not as good field position. Nonetheless, they had a really good drive. While they didn't get on the board, the dual threat of Lawhead and Day on the run attack was really good. I'd love to see them build in a little bit more passing game as well.
And now we'll see Connor McCarthy, been the primary quarterback this season for Altoona. Marcus Day got the opening series. And a quick slant of the play action, incomplete, intended for Jonah Brandt.
And that ball should have been caught. A great pass by McCarthy. Literally went right through the hands of Brandy. So you got to bring those in. If you want to keep up with this State High team, you can't make mistakes like that. You got to bring that one in.
2nd and 10, 3:26 to go. Altoona with the football trailing 7-0. Screen completed, no gain.
Caught by Connor Adams, one of the other seniors on this team, so his career winding down. But it's interesting to see the dynamic, the play calling by Altoona. 2 straight passes to start out the second drive of the game, where you had a lot of plays run in the first drive, but a very, very small amount of passes. So obviously they feel a lot better about Connor McCarthy dropping back and throwing the ball in comparison to Marcus Day, who started the game.
3rd and 9 from the 26. McCarthy taking a shot, diving, and incomplete.
Keaton Ellis turned a little bit too early for that and over pursued. Whenever you throw it in his general area, he has a chance to pick it off. Double coverage, but a good throw at that. If you're going to take a shot, you got to throw it where no one else can get it but your player, your receiver, and that's exactly what McCarthy just did. So a 3-and-out for Altoona now, as they're digging themselves a little bit of a hole here early on in the first quarter.
Bailey Musselman will boot it away to the dangerous duo of Keaton Ellis and Cohen Russell.
All year, these two have wreaked havoc, not only on offense, not only on defense, but mostly in special teams. They've been lethal.
A low punt, hit a State College player, and the Little Lions fall on it.
Little Lions catch a break there. I think it went right off the back of Kyle D'Amico, and that's one of the strangest plays that I've seen in a while. A ground ball punt that went about 25, 30 yards, bounced up and hit a State College player right in the back. Nonetheless, State College still gets good field position. They were aware of what was going on and were able to fall on it right there. So they're going to start their drive now at the 47.
3:08 left in the first. State College already a 7-point cushion, looking to add to that in their second drive. Heavy dosage of run plays in the opening series for State College. We'll see what they do here. Completed to Dorner out to midfield, and it came out at the last second, 2nd and 10.
And that was a good throw there by Freiberg, right in the hands of Dorner, but it was kind of a wounded duck. The spiral on it was non-existent, so that was probably what came into play there with Dorner not being able to bring it in and actually maintain it.
And can almost promise you that we will not see a single huddle in tonight's matchup. Two teams, they get to the line quickly. 2nd and 10. Green with Green in front. Dresden Green all the way. 53 yards, and State College leads 13-0.
Green got a little bit cocky there towards the end of the run. I don't know if he was taunting the safety there for Altoona, but he was giving him a hand motion of some sort. Nonetheless, once Green gets into open field, he's nearly unstoppable. Finds a hole, breaks it to the outside of the numbers. Beautiful work by Drazen Green. His counterpart, Cohen Russell, obviously struck first. It's a very well-rounded effort right now. State College really putting it on here early on in this contest.
Drazen Green, 53 yards. Renfro's extra point caps off the two-play, 53-yard drive for State College. 2:53 to go here in the first. And the Little Lions already a 2-score advantage over Altoona, and Mountain Lions, if they want to have a chance to win this game, you figure they have to get some points on the board in this drive.
A 2-score deficit is very hard to overcome, especially in the fashion that State College has scored. You gotta, at the minimum, get a field goal. You just want to get some points on the board. And the first drive, they were pretty successful. They just were unable to finish it off. They got it in the red zone of State College. They have to come out now, set a statement, because right now State College is dominating in every aspect of this game.
A couple quick scores for State High. First drive, a little bit longer. We saw some more plays, but 2 plays on this most recent drive. And Green goes 53 yards. Renfro will kick it away for the opposite hash mark.
And one thing that's interesting about this game is the away section here at State College at Memorial Field. It's usually not filled up as much as it is right now, with Altoona being just over a 40-minute drive away. All their fans came out, their full marching band. So it's great to see an environment like this late in October. It's picturesque Friday Night Lights.
Kyle Murray and Robbie Farrell deep to receive. And State College almost able to recover. Little directional kick from Renfrew.
And head coach Matt Lentell loves to just make small adjustments, little nuances within the special teams unit. That one right there, the kickoff from the far side hash, kicking back over to the near side. Those little wrinkles in the special teams unit of State College is what makes them so successful and unpredictable.
Carthy, a dual threat quarterback. We saw him with 3 pass attempts on that opening drive. This time goes back to Lawhead. Picks up 2. Lawhead, the future Lehigh Mountain Hawk. He has 16 touchdowns on the season.
I'd love to see some variability here, I guess you could say, from Altoona. First drive, pretty much all run. Second drive, all pass. If you don't alternate them effectively, State College is going to hone in on what they're going to run.
McCarthy's incomplete to Isaiah Barnes. Had him in the soft spot of the zone, 3rd down and long.
Barnes is one of the main receivers, one of the starters for this Altoona team, so he definitely should bring that one in. That's the 2nd drop of the day for this Altoona wide receiving core.
Mountain Lions go 4 receivers. 3rd and 8. They trail 14-0, 2:19 to go in the opening quarter. McCarthy time. Still looking. Takes a shot, and it's bobbled, incomplete. Farrell had a chance to haul it in for the offensive side. And State College an opportunity to pick it off as well. Nate Maniac could not hang on to it. That was up a 4th and 8.
It was a very strange play there. It was a great throw, first of all, there by McCarthy. Led him perfectly, but it went right through the hands of the receiver and then off of the back of Maniac. It looked like someone was going to come down with it, but eventually it fell on the ground. Another 3 and out for Altoona now.
Musselman on for his 2nd punt of the night. First one was a low bouncer that Was almost recovered for a fumble. Short kick. Dives down around midfield. Again, strong field position for State College. 1:59 to go in the first. State High already up 14-0. 47th all-time meeting between these two rivals. It's their first since 2009. You mentioned a couple of minutes ago, separated only by about 40 or so minutes.
And the biggest branch campus of Penn State University Park also in Altoona. So there's a lot of ties between these two towns.
Altoona next week doesn't get much easier for them. They take on Harrisburg, and they really need to win one of these next two games to keep their playoff hopes alive. Right into the flat.
Drazen Green is in some type of mood tonight, and I absolutely love it. He's just going out there and laying it all on the line. He put his shoulder down and absolutely went through Robbie Farrell, who's taking a beating out there in the corner position. I love what I've seen so far tonight from Green. His mentality, his running, everything.
Pick up a 5. We've yet to see State College take a shot downfield yet. Freiburg will scramble. Has the first down and more. Freiburg. Take it down out of bounds to the 25-yard line. Pickup of 21 on the run.
Little shake and bake action from Freiburg. You don't see that too much, but a beautiful juke going towards his right. He caught Jonah Brandy sleeping, nearly broke his ankles. Another first down for State College, and they're absolutely thriving right now here in their third drive of the game.
Freiburg at 6'4", able to move very well. Also, talented basketball player. First and 10 from the 26. Here's Ellis, the Penn State commit. Keaton Ellis. Shoved out just short of the end zone. First and goal for State College.
And the State College offensive unit loves running that play, whether it be Russell, Ellis. Sometimes they'll put Green out there as well. A reverse, a wide receiver around reverse, and usually it's coming towards the outside, more towards the numbers, but Ellis, great awareness there. He cuts it back inside, and he's able to set State College up with a great first and goal situation.
Freiburg checks out Zach Betts. And direct snap to Edwards. Does not get much easier to that. Touchdown, State College.
Wildcat formation there for the Little Lions, and Isaiah Edwards literally walked his way into the end zone, and we're not even a quarter of the way through the game, and it's 20-0. State College came out with the right mindset. As for Altoona, 2 3-and-outs, a good drive to start off, but since then it's been nothing but State College.
Sider to hold. And Renfrew nails it through. That's what you mentioned earlier, that his first kick didn't have as much mustard behind it as it usually does, but that was set out of the stadium.
Wind is also blowing directly out towards that direction. It's definitely cold here. Definitely colder than 50 degrees with the wind picking up, but State College they can't change anything at this point. 21-0, just over a minute left to play here in the first quarter.
Mountain Lions will get the football back here. You are watching Pennsylvania High School football on CNET. 21-0. State College all over Altoona in these two teams' first meeting since 2009. A minute and 9 seconds to go in the first. And the Mountain Lions will look to respond. Farrell on the return. Brought down to the 20.
All night, Farrell's been somewhat tentative when he's coming out after receiving the ball. Of course, you want to be a little bit conservative and find a hole and then dash to it, but he seems like he's very slow once he gets that ball at first, and then he hasn't really found a hole yet, so I'd like to see him be maybe a little bit more aggressive.
State College has done a good job clogging up those lanes, though. Barnes in motion. McCarthy keeps. Picks up 5.
We've seen pretty much all passing from McCarthy, but he can run the ball as well. He does have that in his repertoire. Like we said, he's the main guy for this Altoona team, so they're used to working around, and the chemistry factor is definitely there.
McCarthy last week, a 136 total yard performance. A couple touchdowns. Now goes to the air, taking a shot. And he gets it to State College territory, finding Connor Adams. 28 yards on the pickup.
And Tom Bucha absolutely burned on that one. I'm not sure what he was looking at, but there was a lot of room in front of him, and he was lucky that McCarthy didn't lead the receiver a little bit more. Otherwise, it would have been 6 for Altoona.
Mountain Lions might just let the clock run out here. 13 seconds to go in the first quarter. As McCarthy looks over to the sideline, and we will head to the second with State College leading 21-0, but Altoona making their way into Little Lions territory. Second quarter action back after this quick break. You're watching high school football here on CNET.
The fact that these guys are playing fireball right now. What? Huh?
Members of our District 6 champion girls golf team. Members of our third straight District 6 championship field hockey team. The District 6 girls tennis doubles champions Kelly Vanden and Caitlin Jackson. Members of our Mid-Penn Conference champion boys cross country team. And members of our Mid-Penn Conference champion girls cross country team. Please join all of us in offering a warm memorial field to stay high round of applause to these outstanding student athletes and teams and their championships this fall. We wish them continued success. We are so proud to promote you, our student athletes. Speaking of the postseason, we'd like to wish good luck to several of our teams whose postseason opportunities are right around the corner. The girls volleyball will compete in the Mid-Penn Championship Tournament tomorrow at Chambersburg High School. Caitlin Janik and Kelly Vanden will enter into the PIAA Girls Tennis Doubles Championships in Hershey in the next week. Our boys and girls soccer teams will compete in the district championships on Monday, October the 29th against Altoona at St. Francis University, with the girls starting at 5:30, the boys starting at 7:30.
Teams will switch sides, and we'll get back to the action. 12 minutes back in the clock. Start of the second quarter here from Memorial Field. State College up 21-0. Adams in motion. Second and 10.
Good call there by McCarthy. Looked like a screen play set up, but there was no one there. He just throws it right into the ground instead of losing 10-plus yards. Good awareness there by the quarterback.
We've seen a lot of success of the ground so far for Altoona, but look back to last season. It's an offense that put up over 2,000 yards through the air. And McCarthy keeps on the option. Connor McCarthy shoved down from behind. It's a big play for Altoona.
Read option there from McCarthy. Found a hole right up the middle. All the big runs all night for Altoona have been right up the middle. That's where their biggest guys are. They're really clearing out some space.
21 yards to the run. First and 10, 11:48 to go in the second. Mountain Lions trail by 21. This time Barnes hauls it in. Gain of 5. McCarthy starting to find his rhythm at quarterback.
And it seems like he thrives in this fast-paced, up-tempo offense. Keeping the defense off balance is something that he seems like he's doing very well. His passes, the ones that have been incomplete, have gone right through the hands of his receivers. If they bring those in, this might be a different story.
Lawhead on 2nd and 5. Nowhere to go. Swallowed up for a loss of a couple.
Big play there for State College. That offensive line with the linebacking core. A 1-2 punch. A big third down now for Altoona. Big play. Long pass before the first quarter ended. Doesn't mean anything if they're unable to capitalize here.
Jimmy Maniac credited with the TFL. 3rd down and 7 for the State College 22. 10 seconds to snap it for Altoona. Trailing by 21, 10.5 to go in the first half. Now under 5 to get the snap off. Incomplete, intended for Lawhead. Now you have a decision, 4th down and 7. It's a windy day. This would be a 39-yard field goal. You're trailing by 21. Looks like Altoona will go for it.
Coach Lintel telling his offense to get ready. He's very confident this defense is going to get the stop here, and I wouldn't blame him. Defense has dominated Altoona all night. No score thus far in 4th and long here.
Nick Felix recognizing the situation, keeping his offense out there. 4th and 7. Hit from behind. Ball is loose. Altoona recovers, but it's a turnover on downs, and State College's offense a chance to add to their lead.
A huge blindside hit from Nathan Lusk, one of the biggest hits that I've seen from State College all season long, and that's just a perfect reflection, indication of how this game has gone to this point. State College gets the ball back now, and they're just pounding it on now. Very comfortable lead. But they're not going to be content here, still sending out their first unit with that only being the second quarter.
Strip sack from Lusk, his 5th sack of the season, leads State College in that department. 10:18 to go in the second. Little Lions up 21-0. Again, we'll see 2 running backs out there. And State College got a jump offensively. Looked like Jaden Sider.
The mental mistakes over and over for this team. If they want to compete with teams like Harrisburg, the perennial powers in Pennsylvania, once playoff time comes around, they have to limit those mental mistakes. They really come back to bite you in the end.
Green had a 53-yard touchdown run earlier in the game. This time makes his way back to the line of scrimmage. Still very impressive he was able to get back there.
Devin Fagan in on the tackle. Also a wideout for this team as well. But Green is... He's always very good, but you can tell he just has that mentality that no one's going to stop him tonight. Sometimes that's really all it takes, and so far he's really proven himself right there. No one can stop him. He's been lights out so far for State College as Isaiah Edwards now checks back into the game.
2nd and 15. Freiburg searching. Running out of real estate. Fumbles the football and falls right back on it. It'll be a 3rd down and about 9.5.
And one of the things about Freiburg, he does a lot of things well, but one thing he has to improve on is that when he scrambles, he holds that ball out there up for grabs. He did it for about 3 or 4 seconds there until it was later stripped out. He had 3 fumbles on the year. That's his 4th. Luckily, he's able to fall back onto it and keep this State College possession alive.
3rd down and 9 would be a big stop for Altoona, who trail it 21-0. 8:48 to go in the 2nd quarter. Clock is moving. Short of the 6 on the completion to Cohen Russell.
Jonah Brandy brings down Russell. Russell had the first touchdown of the game. Looks like State College will punt this one away, first one of the game.
Keaton Ellis will go back to punt it. We saw earlier this season he was lined up as punter, ended up keeping it himself and running for a big play. Now on a 4th and 6.
That's something you always have to account for. He can punt it away too. He has a leg behind him, but of course his strength is running the ball.
And Ellis will fake it. Keaton Ellis has the 1st down and more. Gets past what was the last line of defense, staying on his feet. Up towards the 10-yard line.
Let me tell you, this guy is so much fun to watch. Just when you think you've seen it all from him, he takes something out that he had up his sleeve, stored all season. A great run there by Ellis, the Penn State commit. Give credit to Devin Fagan, too, running all the way back and bringing him down. Ellis breaks tackle after tackle after tackle. Seems like he's never going to go down, but a huge play for State College in what we thought would be a punt.
55 yards on the fake punt. Green finds the end zone for the 2nd time tonight. A 9-yard touchdown run. State College rolling 27-0.
Ellis lays the platform. Green finishes it off. He had a 31-yard touchdown run with 2:53 left to play in the 1st quarter. And now he gets his 2nd of the night. He's really been the best so far for State College, but it's really a team effort. This offensive line is doing a great job, too, up front.
Redfern remains perfect, 4 for 4 on the night. And State College leads it 28-0. Just such an impressive display, offensive and defensive performance for State College. Altoona, they've had a couple of drives that have gotten them pretty deep into State High territory. And everyone talks so much about this State College offense. But tonight it's been the defense that's been setting up their offense.
It really has. The defense has been phenomenal all year for the State College team, but tonight it really shows. A shutout so far, about halfway through this 2nd quarter of action. They don't get the credit they deserve. Of course, they have some guys that overlap from defense to offense, but there's guys like Maniac amongst others, Thompson up front as well, who just are specialists on defense and are very, very tough to get by if you're any other team going against them. So when you get deep into seasons, you know what they say, offense wins games, defense wins championships. State College has both this year.
7:30 to go in the 2nd. State College up 28-0 on a senior night here at Memorial Fields.
Also pink night as well. I see a lot of pink out in the stands. Players as well have pink tape.
State College, their first home game in quite some time. They've spent their last 2 weekends on the road. 4-0 this season at home. Currently 7-1 overall, 4-1 in conference. Altoona 3-5 on the season. They 1-4 record in conference, first year in the Mid-Penn since 2010. Farrell. Towards the 30. That's where Altoona will set up shop.
Biggest return for Farrell so far tonight. He's taken most of them for Altoona. Sets up relatively good field position around the 30-yard line. They got to respond here at this point just for pride, keeping this game in reach. But right now it seems like it's out of reach for this team. Really struggling right now. Like you said, John, they've had 2 good drives within the State College 20. They're just unable to cap them off with a score.
And we saw Marcus Day at quarterback on that opening drive where they got down to the 10. Now it's McCarthy taking a shot, looking for Adams. Jump ball. Incomplete. Cohen Russell gets his hands in there.
Give credit to Russell. Greatly outsized on that matchup. And he was beat as well, but he hustled back, spotted the ball in the air, made it jump up, and it looked like the receiver in Avery McCauley came down with it, but he got a hand in there, was able to rip it out at the last moment. So we just said how great the State College defense has been. That's a perfect example of it right there.
5'7" Russell against the 6'2" Adams. 7 inches. And the 5'7" quarterback wins the battle. Tunnel screen. Here's Barnes. Moves the chains.
We saw Barnes had a drop earlier on in the game as now a flag comes out. But Barnes had a drop earlier on in the game, which was a much easier catch than what he just brought in. A throw at his knees, give him credit, he was able to bring it in. But now a flag comes out, like we said, long after the play was over.
We'll see who this is on. Altoona players had been clapping when the flag was initially thrown.
And there has been some jawing back and forth. Nothing crazy, just subtle. You got to expect that. It comes with the territory of a rivalry.
Yeah, it's on State College. Tack on 15 yards to the end of that completion. So once again, Altoona into State College territory for the 3rd time tonight. Yet as of right now, they have no points to show for it, trailing 28-0, 7:06 remaining in the 2nd quarter. Adams, tight coverage, hangs on to it.
What a play to bring that in. Facing coverage from Russell on his back, but Adams caught it right around his head area, bobbled a little bit. He went down right to his knees area and somehow was able to pin it up against his body to bring that one in. A great play and a 1st down for Altoona.
Mark the spot, and that is a 1st down for the Mountain Lions. One name we haven't called in quite some time, Mitchell Lawhead, had a big opening drive. Haven't seen him much lately. Gets the give on the outside edge, inside the 25.
Lawhead has been quiet recently, at least in this drive. And when you have an asset like that, a Division I commit, you got to use him to your advantage. I like the pass, but you got to complement each other as well.
2nd and 5 after Lawhead's 5-yard carry. Adams, nothing there.
Altoona's run a lot. It's either quick screen plays, quick out routes, or taking shots downfield. I really haven't seen anything in the middle there. So expect something big here on 3rd down. Altoona, we've seen it many times before, marching down to State College territory, but unable to convert. This is their opportunity right here.
Once again, it was Cohen Russell on the defensive side making the tackle at the line of scrimmage. 3rd down and 5 for Altoona, trailing by 28. You figure it's 4-down territory in State College side of the field for the 3rd time tonight. And McCarthy gobbled up at the line.
And on the tackle, Addison Darcy, the 6'3", 260-pound junior, made the tackle alone there. 4th down, a big one for Altoona.
4th and 5. Altoona trailing by 28 points. McCarthy. Shot towards the end zone. Adams streaking open. Mountain Lions on the board.
We saw Russell get burned earlier on this drive. He caught a break as he was able to hustle back, rip the ball out of Adams' hands, but right there, burned again. Adams makes him pay as Altoona strikes for the first time this game.
28-6, Altoona scoring with 4:37 to go in the second. Andrew Eisel on for the extra point. And a false start of the offense. 4th and 5. Shot towards the end zone. Pays off for Altoona.
McCarthy's been impressive. He really has. Good passes. Like I said earlier, incomplete passes have been drops by this wide receiving core for Altoona, but he's made a lot of great passes, deep ones at that too, just like that last pass we saw to Adams, which was good for 6.
Extra point from 25 yards out after the false start. Is through 28-7. And Altoona potentially get a stop here, get the football back, drive downfield, which they've been able to do. Their issue hasn't been moving the football. It's been finishing off drives tonight.
And it really doesn't mean anything if you work your way all the way down the field. A great drive that's not capped off by at the least a field goal, preferably a touchdown. That's what has happened twice before that previous drive tonight for Altoona. But finally, they're able to make something happen. A big 4th down play. A big throw from McCarthy, who came in the second drive, didn't even start this game. So obviously, considerably, there was some competition between him and Day, but clearly he's the better option here as he scores and puts his team on the board with 7 points here with 4:37 left to play in the first half.
Mountain Lions, they've lost 2 in a row. It's an interesting team because 2 of their losses, they're 3-5 in this season. Last week falling to Cumberland Valley on a late game-winning field goal by CV. Final score was 24-21. And then earlier in the season, they lost by 1 point in overtime to Central Dauphin East. So this is a team that's 4 points away from being 5-3 instead of 3-5.
And that's just football. Sometimes you catch some breaks, sometimes you don't. Overtime and double overtime. You don't really prepare for games like that go, especially double overtime. A lot of players are tired. You're running out of plays that the other team hasn't seen. So just a few tough breaks for this Altoona team. They have some talent there. It's just living up to the potential that they have.
Yeah, that double overtime matchup, you're referencing a 49-42 thriller against Carlisle. Altoona won that game. It was their first road win in 2 years. Now State College will get the football back. Russell scoops it up off one hop. Out to the 35.
Number 2, Cohen Russell on the return for State High.
On the tackle, Bailey Musselman. He got lucky, or State College got lucky. He was on the ground. Altoona got lucky. Musselman was on the ground, stuck his arm out, and just got the legs of Cohen Russell, who looked like he had the sideline to himself. Even if there's no open field in front of him, Russell usually makes some open field. He's very dangerous out on special teams and on the offense as well.
Musselman, the kicker for this Altoona side, coming up making the tackle on special teams. 4:34 to go in the second. Little Lions lead by 21. Freiberg pressured from behind, finds Ellis. Into Mountain Lion territory. Seemed like Freiberg was going to be swallowed up for a loss. Instead, extends the play and moves the chains.
Marcus Day started the day at quarterback. Now we see him on the defensive end as well. He brings down Ellis, but not before a big gain from the Little Lions.
Clock moving, 4:20 in the second. 1st and 10 down to the 42. Edwards on the toss. Isaiah Edwards dragged down from behind up to the 20. Pickup of 22 on the run. It's a State College offense that entered this game averaging 6.5 yards per carry, 17 yards per completion, the definition of a big play offense.
And one of the biggest stats coming out of that, Cohen Russell, 20 receptions on the year, 521 yards, 26.1 on the average. And that's absolutely insane. That is a crazy stat, and he's probably just going to pad that today. He's already had a touchdown, and we're not even halfway through this contest.
Edwards fighting forward, second and short, and Russell, he reminds me of a guy, number 10 of the Chiefs, a guy named Tyreek Hill, speedy wide receiver. You'll see him on special teams as well.
Does a little bit of everything. He's so hard to stop. Powerful, speedy, very quick with his cuts. That's a great comparison. Russell, so dangerous here, especially at the high school level.
Freiberg's pass almost picked off by Adams. Good coverage, Connor Adams.
Definitely would have been a tough angle to pick that one off, but it was right on the forearm of Adams. He was trying to get one of his wide receivers on a little quick slant route over the middle. So 3rd and short now for State College. I would expect that this is 5 down territory. 4 down territory, excuse me.
3rd and 2. And a jump on the defense moves the chains. Yeah, 3rd time that we've seen an offsides penalty result in a 1st down for a team on 3rd or 4th and short.
And you always got to have that in the back of your head on every play, but especially on 3rd or 4th and short. Teams love to do that. We've seen Altoona do it. We've seen State College do it. They've both been successful.
1st and goal from the 7. Edwards stumbles into the end zone. 4th rushing score for the Little Lions in this first half. The 2nd by Isaiah Edwards, in State College leads it 34-7. 3:10 to go in the 2nd quarter.
Drazen Green, 2 touchdowns. Isaiah Edwards joins in on the party, gets his first of the day. Huge score, 34-7. Like you said, John, State College is running away with this one at this point. Altoona should have time now, if they get the ball back, to potentially make a good drive down the field. But they definitely have to get something on the board before they head into the half.
Renfrew nails it 35-7 after Edwards finds the end zone for the 2nd time tonight on a 7-yard scamper. 3:10 to go in the 2nd. We'll take a quick break here. You're watching State College versus Altoona here on CNET.
As a part of WJAC's Friday Night Rival broadcast. Tonight's nominee from State College is Jeremy Bullock. From Altoona, it's Bridget Clark. Both students are being recognized for excellence in academic, athletic, and community service and are now eligible to compete for a $5,000 scholarship from 5-star Mitsubishi in Altoona. Congratulations to Jeremy and Bridget, and good luck. Fans coming up at halftime, stay in your seats to enjoy not one, but 2 great halftime shows from our State High Marching Band and the Altoona High Marching Band. That's 2 great band shows coming up at halftime here at Memorial Field.
Isaiah Edwards goes 7 yards for his 2nd touchdown run of the night. 4th rushing score for State College as the Little Lions lead it 35-7. 3 minutes and 10 seconds to go here in the first half. Altoona will get the football back. with 2 timeouts. Kick out of bounds. Last drive for Altoona, they are able to convert on a 4th and 5. Not just convert, but find the end zone. On a strike from McCarthy to Connor Adams. Now they'll have another chance. Trying to make this a little bit closer as we enter halftime.
And they have a great opportunity to do so. Definitely manageable here. Ball set at the 40-yard line. 3:10 with 2 timeouts. It's more than enough time to march down the field and get, at the least, a field goal.
McCarthy on the run. And Lawhead couldn't hang on to the screen. 2nd and 10.
And expect Altoona to stick to the air here, definitely. With time not being on their side. Only took up a few seconds there going into the half. They're going to want to get something going.
And a State College player down to the fields. Joseph Nastasi. 3:07 to go in the second. 35-7. State College on top. We'll take a quick break. Second and 10 for Altoona. Trailing by 28 points, 3:07 to go here in the second quarter. McCarthy pump faking, deep for Adams. Just overshot his man. That's been his go-to target tonight. Resulted in 1 touchdown score. 3rd and 10.
With Adams being 6'2", I don't really blame McCarthy for going after him nearly every pass that he throws. Adams has gotten out in front of his corners guarding him. We saw it last time with Russell twice in one drive, the latter resulting in a touchdown. Right there we saw it again. Just an overthrow there by McCarthy, a very difficult one at that.
Lawhead dragged down from behind. Hahn to the tackle. 4th and long.
Hahn in his first year playing football as well. Senior here tonight on senior night. So this will be his last time at Memorial Field. Granted, State College doesn't get a home playoff game, which odds are they probably will, but
yeah,
he dragged down the player there for Altoona by the back and just held on for dear life until eventually he couldn't chug his feet anymore.
Musselman. Another punt for Altoona. They trail it by 28. 2:15 to go in the second quarter. Russell following his blockers. Has Keaton Ellis in front. Upended. Another good return for State College. So dangerous on special teams, and it's something that oftentimes will go unnoticed. But that's a situation where a lot of return men, they get towards midfield brought down. Colin Russell gets up to the 36.
He's so effective on the special teams. Just the awareness right there on a line drive kick to get it himself, knowing that if he lets it go, it's probably going to trickle back within his own 10-yard line. He has great hands, able to bring it in and then get to the outside down the sideline. State College now has great field position. And take note, that drive by Altoona, very, very short. They started with 3:10. 2:06 on the clock now.
Mark it at the 34. Green will throw. And Ellis ends up with it. Keaton Ellis on the deflection. Trickery from State College. Dresden Green, he could do it all.
He can. Tonight is his night. That ball was up in the air, tipped around a few times between Ellis and the cornerback there, but somehow he was able to come down with it. What a fun play to watch there by State College.
We'll see if Dresden Green gets it on the handoff. Freiberg to throw. Russell. Fumble the football near the goal line. Clock stop 1:38, and it's a touchdown for the Little Lions. Brady Dorner, the recovery in the end zone. State College leads it 41-7. Cohen Russell just short of the end zone, could not hang on to it, but his State College teammates were there to back him up.
And give Patrick McCauley credit there, checking into the game for the first time. He kind of fell into Russell as he caught the ball and made his cut into the end zone, and McCauley held on to him and dragged him back into the end zone. A great play there that will probably go unnoticed by the sophomore, making his name known.
41-7, 1:38 to go in the first half. Renfrew sends it through. State College's offense really isn't slowed down by many teams. And Altoona witnessing firsthand just how potent this group is. Averaging 35 points per game. They have 42 with 1:38 to go in the first half.
It just shows they're catching their stride at a perfect time right before playoffs. They have one game that remains after this against Cumberland Valley on the road. Of course, this is their senior night. But Cumberland Valley really isn't the team that they have been in years past. They're definitely a manageable team to go up against. State College is the favorite in that one too. So they're potentially looking at a 9-1 season, catching their stride, heading into the playoffs. You can't really be happier. You can't really complain if you're head coach Matt Lintel and the State College Little Lions team.
State College, their lone loss in Harrisburg to the Cougars. A 32-17 defeat against the Harrisburg side that some would argue one of, if not the best team in the state. So the public school ranks. 1:38 to go. And the tempo that Altoona plays at, 1:38, 2 timeouts. That's more than enough time for them to get some more points on the board here.
Yeah, for a team that doesn't run a fast up-tempo offense like Altoona, it's very challenging. You have to force yourself to do something you're not used to, but it's just another play for Altoona, another drive. It's typical. It's what their offense is.
High kick to the up back. Ball's on the turf. State College recovers.
Special teams, special teams, special teams, over and over again. State College makes up their ground on special teams. They recover it. Now they definitely have a shot to go for it all here with 1.5 minutes left to play.
Brendan Schaefer was the one who got under the football, couldn't hang on to it, and stayed high. 1:30 to go, leading by 35. We'll have it at the 26. It injured Mountain Line down to the field. Stick with us. 42-7, State College leading Altoona. 1:30 to go in the first half. John Gross alongside Cooper Deck. We'll see the State College offense go at it with this Altoona defense. Defensive unit that had some changes in the offseason. Altoona went from a 4-3 to an odd front. Freiberg finds Jeremy Bullock, who takes a shot and fumbles the football. We'll see who recovered it.
We had one referee coming in from the near side saying it was an incomplete pass, but the play wasn't blown dead. I didn't hear any whistles at all either, so it looks like they're probably going to be Altoona ball. Very strange play.
State College seemed to have recovered the ball.
Bullock took a shot. Hopefully he's okay going across the middle. Pretty much blindsided. As we're going to have a stoppage in play.
We'll see what the official call is. Yeah, so a completion. State College recovers the fumble. And Little Lions get down to the 4 on the reception by Bullock. Multi-sport athlete. Offer from a few FCS schools, including UAlbany. Freiberg. Wrapped up and dropped. Big play by Altoona. Adam Port, one of the guys who Coach Bayless mentioned earlier this week as somebody who has really stepped up this season for this Altoona side, and the Little Lions taking a timeout. 50 seconds to go in the second quarter. They lead it 42-7. For State College, at what point do you start considering bringing in some of the backups? Because right now we're seeing the starting group. We're seeing Freiberg, Ellis, all of them still out there.
Yeah, you don't want to see your players, your main players, such as Russell, Ellis, Freiberg, Edwards, Drazen Green. I could go on. You don't want to see them go down, especially at this point in the season, because if you go down with a serious injury, it's likely you're not going to come back with one more week after this one left in the season. So I would say definitely coming out in the second half, I would expect to see maybe not all of the second and third unit coming out, but definitely some new players coming in and progressively working your way towards all the subs playing.
2nd and 15 after the sack by Adam Port. Port, a guy who has had a strong season for Altoona. Do have a couple players with some college offers and commitments, most notably Lawhead, committed to Lehigh. Ellis not down just yet, and rolls onto his back. Clock continues to move. Gage Hill, an offensive and defensive lineman, also for Altoona, committed to Toledo. 9 yards on the completion to Keaton Ellis. 3rd and goal from the 6. 25 seconds to go in the second. Edwards. Stopped short of the end zone.
Isaiah Edwards, the ball carrier. Tackled by Hunter. 4th and goal for State High.
And a timeout called by State College, leading by 35. 17 seconds to go here in the second. If you're Coach Lindell, you don't need a touchdown to help secure this victory per se.
It would help with the cause of putting your subs in, make you feel a little bit more comfortable. Not that they're not comfortable right now, but it would definitely help the cause. And in Pennsylvania high school football, 35 points in the second quarter means a running clock in the second half. So that's something that Altoona is going to have to keep in the back of their mind if they want any shot at potentially making a comeback. But at this point, I really don't see that happening. It's been all State College all night.
17 seconds remain, and it is a 4th and 1 situation. You never know when you might face this next week or potentially down the road in the playoffs. These 4th-and-1 situations, oftentimes, if you're going for it in that case, it's probably a really close game, and it could be the difference between winning and losing.
Yeah, you always got to remember and keep the playoffs in the back of your mind. Definitely, you have plays specifically in the back of your playbook dedicated to plays just like these goal line situations, little wrinkles in your offense that really other teams haven't seen so much.
Pistol set for State College. And a whistle before the snap. Like a flag thrown from the far sideline. Offsides at Altoona. Still a 4th down as it is goal to go. But the Lions will get a little bit closer. 4th and less than a yard. And it's also one of those things with the offense that State College runs and Altoona, and you see it in the college ranks as well. These short situations, you're running things out of the shotgun, so it's not necessarily as easy as putting your quarterback under center, having him keep it himself, giving it to a fullback, whatever it may be. You have to earn this yard theoretically harder than you would if you're just going on a quarterback sneak.
It definitely makes it more difficult. But right now we're seeing Isaiah Edwards out. They're going to send an extra lineman onto the field. Possibly another timeout here from State College. But we saw that same exact play ran, and Edwards was able to score. He got his first score of the game.
Yeah, he practically walked into the end zone on that one. Wildcat set is what we saw prior to the timeout by Altoona. Had 7 offensive linemen in the field. The jumbo set for State College, who lead it 42-7, 17 seconds to go here in the second quarter. Second to last game of the season for the Little Lions and the Mountain Lions. 2 schools, same colors, pretty much the same mascot, separated by 40 minutes. It's, as we've talked about throughout the broadcast, a renewed rivalry. They have not played since 2009. This is the 47th all-time meeting between State College and Altoona. And now we'll see again Edwards set up in the shotgun. Low snap. Recovered by Altoona. So the Mountain Lions defense holding strong inside the 1-yard line, and 13 seconds to go for their offense.
Miscommunication there on State College's part. The snap very low to Edwards, unable to handle it. I think it might have went off of his leg, and really it didn't matter. Same result even if State College was able to recover it. Altoona gets it. They have to be careful now. Ball placed around the 4-yard line. They don't want to get a safety here.
Lawhead takes the snap. Spun down after a short gain, and barring a timeout, we will head to halftime. 42-7, State College, a complete performance through the first 2 quarters of this game. And Cooper, I guess you could say a lot of people wouldn't necessarily be surprised by this, but you figure the rivalry might play some role in it. State College just having none of it thus far.
Yeah, they've been absolutely dominating. That's what it comes down to. Altoona, there's a few bright spots. You have the touchdown from Adams, a great throw from the quarterback here for Altoona. But other than that, it's been all State College. Special teams, defense, offense, they've been firing on all cylinders. A lot of adjustments are going to have to be made coming out. There's going to be a running clock in the second half as well. So Altoona has the odds stacked against them.
42-7 after the first 2 quarters of this game. We'll be back after halftime. Stay tuned for the marching band's performance here at halftime, live from Memorial Field. This is high school football on CNET.
and gentlemen, we proudly present the Altoona Area High School Marching Band under the field direction of Drum Major Ian Brannon. The majorettes are led by Head Majorette Caitlin Mayer and assisted by Co-Head Majorette Stacy Oppel. The Silks are led by Head Silk Taya Esworthy and assisted by Co-Head Silk Abby Auerbach. The featured twirler is Morgan Arthur. Throughout this football season, the band will be performing jazz, featuring jazz standards from many different eras. Tonight's show features the 1936 Benny Goodman hit Sing Sing Sing, Sway, which was originally recorded by Dean Martin in 1954 and later re-recorded with huge success by Michael Bublé, and the 1936 hit of Bob Haggart, Big Noise from Winnetka. And we will close tonight's show with Land of Make Believe, the 1973 hit of jazz trumpeter Chuck Mangione. Ladies and gentlemen, the Altoona Area High School Marching Band. And now, on Altoona. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. The State College Area High School Marching Band features over 160 instrumentalists and a band front of 19. The band continues their tradition of presenting a number of different halftime shows each fall. Tonight, we are pleased to share with you highlights from our various halftime shows this fall, as selected by the senior members of the marching band. We opened tonight's show with a selection from the Broadway musical show. Here is the opener from that show, Phantom of the Opera. At this time, we would like to recognize the 34 senior members of the marching band. These students have shown tremendous dedication through their long hours of work during the warm days of August to the cold nights of October. They have persevered through having to practice in 5 different locations and less than optimal lighting at their practices. No matter what the challenge was, they have overcome and made the 2018 season one of the best. Silk, Olivia Lee and Rachel Smith. Trombones, Nikolai Pelican and Ali Ross. Saxophone, Zach Shunk, Farhan Talukder, Jaden Wilson and Ethan Locke. Mellophone, Katie Spearley. Trumpets, Tyler Manarino and Joe Broniszewski. Clarinets, Jessica Mallard, Max Herbst and Alex Levan. Flutes, Ellie Ahern, Catherine Soliday, Julian Sim, Jenna Zhang, Elizabeth Bagley and Emma Mortimer. Assistant drum majors, Kristen Lentz and Megan Russell. Drumline, Donovan Brubaker, Sean Cunningham, Zeb Cruz, Ryan Dowling, Jackson Harper, Spencer Perry, and Emma Simon. Dance team, Sophie Caparelli, Abby English, Carolyn Homan, Tia Oliver, and your drum major, Sam Olenek. Let's give these 34 seniors a round of applause. The next selection will feature the senior members of the marching band performing a song from their freshman year from the 2015 Journey Show. Here is Any Way You Want It. At this time, we ask you to rise as we pay tribute to our senior marching band members with their final playing of the State College Area High School alma mater. you, ladies and gentlemen. The State College Area High School Marching Band is directed by Paul Leskowitz, with assistant director Matt Nelson and percussion instructor Doug Jones. Major instructor is Chloe Musser. Team advisor is Chauncey McDougal, and supervisor is Marissa Tomko. Band president is Catherine Saladay. Class representatives are Jackson Harper, Will Hurst, Owen Nazel, and Josh Lee. Field leadership is provided by drum major Sam Olenek and assistant drum majors Kristen Lenz and Megan Russell. Stick around after the game as both the State College and Altoona marching bands will combine to form the largest maroon band east of the Mississippi for a special post-game performance. Also, don't forget the annual Marching Band Indoor Concert will take place Monday, October 29th at 8 p.m. This year, the concert will be at Memorial Field. Gates open at 7:30 with the concert starting at 8. Tickets are $3 and can be purchased at the gate or through StubHub. Senior citizens and students of all ages are free. Come out and support our student musicians in this annual State College tradition with the indoor-outdoor concert. And as always, cookies, punch, and possibly naturally occurring popsicles will be served afterward. The State High Majorettes are selling Sheets coupon books. For only $10, you can get free schmuffins, nachos, and other Sheets goodies. Stop by and see a majorette during the fourth quarter for this Sheets-tastic deal. State College Athletics would like to thank the following for their services: Center Lifelink EMS, the Alpha Fire Department, San Moritz Security, University Orthopedics,
Thank you for your support. We are truly better together.
Both teams out of the locker room as we will get back to the action. 42-7, State College leading on senior night. 47th all-time matchup between State College and Altoona. John Gross alongside Cooper Deck to run through that first half a bit. Pretty much all you need to know, it was all State College.
All State College. Cohen Russell strikes first. Drazen Green follows. Green another touchdown. Early on in the second quarter, Isaiah Edwards and then Dorner finished things out. It's 42-7, but you got to remember State College was within their own 5-yard line, knocking at the door. A muffed snap to Isaiah Edwards held them back from making it even bigger of a deficit.
Yeah, State High had it 4th and goal from inside the 1. And the Wildcat snap to Edwards was a little bit low. Now we'll see some of State College's backups get out there on special teams. Loki Howell fumbles the football. And State College able to recover. So the Little Lions have gotten some bounces their way tonight. Might not have had a huge difference on the score, but resulted in a couple saved possessions for State College as we have a running clock now for the remainder of this half. We spoke to the referees at halftime just to ensure that this is the rule, but if it's a 35-point or greater lead for one of the two teams, clock runs for the entire second half, even if the losing team comes back and even takes the lead as Isaiah Edwards picks up 7.
Number 5, Isaiah Edwards, the ball carrier.
This will help State College get their subs some time, but definitely not get anyone hurt or put them in a situation where they could go out. In the latter parts of the season, that's the last thing you want to see.
So Isaiah Edwards still in. Jaden Sider now at quarterback, senior in his first season here at State College, son of Penn State running backs coach Jaywan Sider. Little Lions milking down the clock. 2nd and 3. Again, Edwards bursting through the seam. Isaiah Edwards, nobody's gonna catch him. 68 yards, 48-7 State College, but hold everything. There is a flag back near the line of scrimmage.
Right in the area of holding. A huge run by Edwards. It'd be terrible if this was called back, because that was a great run, very physical one. Was able to shed a few defenders, knock a few off of him, but it's going to be a holding call on State College, so this one's going to come all the way back and then some.
68 yards negated off the board. Score remains 42-7. 10:39 to go in the third. State College top of the football in the opening drive of this second half.
The 10-yard penalty will make it 2nd and 15 for State.
Edwards is going to stay in there. He won't need a breather after that 68-yard sprint to the end zone. 2nd down and 15 now. Howell in the backfields with Edwards. Gets the carry. Loki Howell, shifty back across the 30.
Loki Howell, the ball carrier.
A big hit for Mitchell Lawhead eventually brought down Howell. We saw Loki Howell get some reps in the last home game here for State College. Not as much as he will see tonight, however. He just got in for 2 or 3 drives at the end of the game.
3rd and 4 after the 11-yard carry by Howell, who coughed up the football in the opening kickoff in the second half. Under 10 minutes to go in the third. State College a 35-point advantage on senior night. Edwards stops short of the marker. 4th down
Edwards, the ball carrier.
and 2.
Tackle made by Manley.
Manley on the tackle.
So we have a mix here between guys we really haven't seen all season, some second-string players, and then, of course, Edwards, who pretty much splits time. Drazen Green has the upper hand, I would say. He has more plays tonight and has all year. But Isaiah Edwards is right there behind him.
Yeah, Edwards, leading rusher on the State College side. Definitely lately it's been Green as the number 1 guy. James Hook. High spiraling kick. Down by State College at the 40. Solid field position for Altoona to start off this drive, and you can assume that the Altoona starters will head out there, as they will. On the opening drive of the game, State College had a kickoff out of bounds and a failed onside kick attempt. Altoona started with it at the 40, got deep into State College territory, had a goal-to-go situation, could not score. And now they'll start with it at the 39-yard line.
Sole score of the game was a Connor Adams touchdown from Connor McCarthy, a deep throw. But that's been the only shed of light for Altoona so far tonight.
Lawhead's carry
Mitchell Lawhead, the ball carrier.
for a couple. He had success on that opening drive, and we saw Marcus Day start at quarterback for Altoona since that opening drive, which again got Altoona deep into state high territory. We have not seen the 6'4", 200-pound Day. It's been Connor McCarthy, more of a weapon through the air. Lawhead. It's at 3rd down and short. Dragged down from behind. Under 8 minutes to go. 42-7 State College here in the third.
Lawhead was the main guy in that first drive. He had a few big runs, but ever since then, State College has really contained him. We haven't called his name too many times. That's partially due to the fact that Altoona is throwing the ball more with McCarthy coming into the game, but they've really done a good job of containing the D1 commit.
Third and a yard. First down carry for Lawhead to the plus side of the field for Altoona.
Mitchell Lawhead, the ball carrier.
Has played an integral role of this team. 3-year starter.
Altoona first down. Mountain Lions have it first and 10. Stay high 49.
Most recent win came against Carlisle. Lawhead had 25 carries, over a $150 on the ground and 3 touchdowns. McCarthy. And we'll see an intentional grounding.
That's definitely the right call, I would say, by the officials. He was facing, McCarthy, was facing a lot of pressure. 3 State College defenders going back, and he threw it away, but he was way back there, so that's definitely going to be the right call here, and they're going to move it back.
So back things up after the intentional grounding by Connor McCarthy.
Intentional grounding called against Altoona.
An Altoona offense that came out pretty impressively on their first drive. Up-tempo offense with the State High defense has been able to adjust as the second unit in there for State High defensively.
This will be tough for Altoona to overcome. About second and 31 here.
Adams in motion. Gets the handoff. State College able to shut down the edge. Zach Betts on the tackle. Third down and very long.
Betts making an impact here. He's usually a very consistent contributor on the defensive side of the football for State College. We haven't called his name tonight, but he's in there making a big play for State College here.
3rd and 26 after the 5-yard run by Connor Adams. 6:20 to go. Again, the clock runs for the entirety of the second half. The 35-point halftime lead by State College. McCarthy running out of real estate. Oh, throw out of bounds, incomplete, and a 4th down situation for the visitors.
For Isaiah Barnes, falls incomplete. 4th down, Altoona.
This is a definite punt situation for Altoona. 4th and 26. That intentional grounding call really brought them back. It hurt them a lot. So we'll see some new guys coming in to return this punt for State College.
Loki Howell and Nehemiah Howell back deep to receive for State College. Good punt. Takes a fortuitous bounce for Altoona. And it's down inside the 10. A booming kick. Down to the State College 7.
A great kick there by Altoona. Rolled for about 15, 20 yards. Backs them up deep into their own territory. So this is a great test for the 2nd and 3rd unit underclassmen who really don't get the shot of getting on the field under the bright lights. But it's going to be their time soon. Some key seniors leaving this program after this year. This is great preparation for it right now.
Now some big names that'll be departing due to graduation. Keaton Ellis headed to Penn State. Tommy Freiberg at quarterback. Key contributors on the offensive and defensive lines. Edwards. Up towards the 1st down marker. Seems to be a little bit short. It's such a powerful running back.
So I was just about to say the same exact thing. It's even when he doesn't really hit someone, or even if he's brought down by the first guy that he meets, you can tell that whenever he makes contact, he's a big guy coming towards you. He has a lot of momentum. He's a very good player, very powerful, but can also make you miss too.
6 foot 200. That's the size of some big-time college backs that you'll see. Sider on the rollout. Tucks it himself. First down run, Jaden Sider.
Jaden Sider, the ball carrier.
4:17 remaining in the third. 42-7, State College leads here at home, senior night
The Lions have the first and 10
for
from
State
25.
College. Each side with one game remaining after this. Howell gets the give. Spinning forward to the 30, gains 5.
Loki Howell, the ball carrier.
Howell ran a lot of yards to only pick up 5 on the reverse. He spun, made a few men miss, and eventually dove forward. A solid gain for Howell, who just made his first appearance in the second half with the rest of the second unit.
I mean, you have to give credit. Anytime that you have an offense that likes to run to the perimeters, whether it's a jet sweep or a direct handoff to the wide receiver, is able to block and sail off the edges on the 5-yard run from Howell. 2nd and 5. Edwards stunner stepped, triple teamed into the ground in the backfields.
Isaiah Edwards, the ball carrier.
And on the tackle, Jacob Hunter, the big defensive lineman. That was one of the first times that I've seen Isaiah Edwards have a negative play. Usually, if he doesn't really get 5, 6, 7 yards at the minimum, he does get past the line of scrimmage. A great play there by Altoona and Hunter to meet him right at the line and drive him back. A great gang tackle. One of the few times I've seen Altoona really shine defensively.
Hunter, another guy that Coach Felis for Altoona mentions has really stepped things up this season. Sider hit after the whistle. And he's going at it. Let's see. Flag is thrown.
This could get dangerous real quick.
Jaden Sider, the ball carrier. Flag on play.
Whistle right as the snap came out, and Jaden Sider took a shot. Mitchell Lawhead came in. Sider gave him a shove after the whistle.
And listen, I don't blame him. I don't know how there's not a flag thrown on that. Who was coming off the edge there?
Lawhead
Altoona?
came off the edge, and there was a flag thrown. We'll see
Yeah,
who
Lawhead.
it goes against.
Lawhead came over to Lintel, Coach Matt Lintel, and apologized. I think it was one of those close calls where you have a great player, very speedy, like Lawhead, coming off the edge as fast as he possibly can.
Yep.
And the whistle's blown 2 or 3 steps before he gets to the quarterback and Sider. At that point, you really can't stop yourself. When you're running, you can't really hear. So Sider heard the whistle blow. I don't think Lawhead did.
So it's 2 penalties against State College, a false start and then a personal foul penalty against Jaden Sider. And I think you make a great point there. It's so tough. The whistle went pretty much as Lawhead was a step or 2 away from hitting Sider. And even the most skilled pass rushers might not be able to pull up in a play like that.
And Sider got up and he looked like he was going to storm after Lawhead, but you saw right before he pushed him, he kind of had that last thought and just held himself back.
So Sider comes out of the game, and we'll see a good 3rd down run by Conrad Moore.
Conrad Moore, the ball carrier.
Gets some yardage back. 4th and long, and against State College, we'll have to punt it away. 42-7, 2 minutes to go in the 3rd.
Conrad Moore, a sophomore, number 9 for this team, 6 foot, 159 pounds. Might be the guy stepping in next year to fill the shoes of Tommy Freiberg. Of course, Brady Dorner also in that conversation as well. He had some time at quarterback last year. We haven't seen him there this year.
Hook will have his 2nd punt, but not before another whistle. Offsides on Altoona. Have a 4th and 2. And State College will keep the punt team out there. Farrell back deep to receive for Altoona. They trail by 35. Low snap to Hook. Farrell fair catches at the 29-yard line. 38 yards in the punt.
Number 4, Robbie Kern with a fair catch.
Well, we'll see this Altoona offense out there once again. You trail up by 35. Next week they play Harrisburg, the only team to have beaten State College this season. Harrisburg, the only undefeated team in conference play in the Mid-Penn. Toughest test of the season for this Altoona side. So you say, well, okay, maybe this game is over, but this is valuable experience for them against a very good State College team.
Yeah, it's going to be really tough. Harrisburg and State College, very similar teams, big, physical, can really spread it out if they have to.
Connor McCarthy across midfield. Dragged down by Hahn and Green. Up to the 40.
Gain's good for an Altoona first down.
30-yard run by the quarterback, Connor McCarthy. That's what he can do, able to tuck the ball himself and carry for big yardage.
Yeah, he's been doing really well tonight. There's been a few drop passes by his receivers, but thus far I've been impressed with what I've seen from him.
Another keep. 8 yards to the run. 2nd and 2.
And what they were trying to run there was a little slip route going down the field, a read option with McCarthy coming out. And then on the near side, Adams was going to slip past the corner once he committed to tackle McCarthy. But by the time they got there, it was already too late. Good coverage by State College prevented that from happening.
Also tough to run that to the left side. Your quarterback is a righty, too. Now, if McCarthy had been a lefty, maybe that's a throw he would have made. Nonetheless, solid 8-yard pickup on first down, 2nd and 2. Going to the air, Adams slips past the defense. His second touchdown catch of the game. 32 yards right before the end of the third, and Altoona trails 42-13.
And it's been the same story on both touchdowns. A deep throw from McCarthy to Adams in coverage too, and McCarthy's able to bring it in and get Altoona's second score of the day with just 4 seconds left to play here in the third quarter.
So Altoona trying to make the most of their outing to State College. Passing attack has been solid tonight, especially that connection from McCarthy to Adams. Extra point is through and onto Nittany Avenue. 4 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. State College still leads it 42-14. State College's offense will come back out onto the field after this kick return, and typically most offenses you'll say, yeah, they'll be out after this, but the way State College performs on kick return, they have so many weapons back there, even if it's somebody like Loki Howell, who's shown that he's a shifty guy that can, if he has space, he can break one to the end zone. You never know with this group.
Yeah, that's what it comes down to. The biggest thing for the State College team, the biggest thing for opponents going against them is to know that the Little Lions are so deep. If one guy goes down, someone equally as capable can step in and get the job done. That's what makes them such a good team, so lethal. The running back position is a great example. You have 2 guys, Drazen Green and Isaiah Edwards, who are would-be starters on any other team in Pennsylvania, but State College, they split time because they're both that good. So it's just the dynamic of the State College team. You can never fall asleep on them or they will make you pay.
42-14, one guy we haven't even really talked about that much tonight, Keaton Ellis. We were at called the game a couple weeks ago where he had 5 touchdowns, including 4 in the first half alone. His day is all but done here on senior night. The senior headed to Penn State next season. James Franklin certainly has himself a good one. Bailey Musselman and over end Loki Howell from the 8. 14-yard return.
21, Loki Howell on the return for State High.
Edwin Franklin in on the tackle. It looked like Howell lost his footing there around the 15-yard line and stumbled forward, was unable to keep himself up, and that was right when Franklin met him there and brought him down. So like we said earlier, this is just reps for State College. You never know when your opportunity is going to come up. It could be next game. It could be in the state championship. Right now, you got to treat this game like it is a big game, like you are not up by a huge margin. You got to really learn from this opportunity.
Teams will switch sides as we enter the fourth quarter. State College leading 42-14. Stick with us for the conclusion of senior night here at Memorial Fields. You're watching high school football here on CNET.
For now, students make some noise because they have some Say Hi on the t-shirts tossed out to the student section.
State College leads 42-14 here from Memorial Fields. Start of the fourth quarter of play. Edwards gets the carry. Space to move. Isaiah Edwards breaking one tackle, now two into the end zone. 77 yards, no flags on the play. State College leading 48-14. So we had one touchdown to the last drive that was negated. Gets another one right there.
Yeah, the junior gets a little redemption there. Very similar run up the middle, breaks it to the outside, goes for 6. The first time he did that in this second half, it's called back on a holding call, but that one was a little bit more interesting, rewarding, as he broke 2 tackles in the latter parts of the run. He's a little bit out of breath walking over to the sideline as well, but well-deserved there. State College goes in and gets their first score of the half.
11:40 remaining in the fourth. State College well on their way to their 8th victory of the season. Some late additions to the kicking unit. And now Addison Darcy will have to head back to the sideline. 1 second to snap it. And the kick is through from Aiden Spittler. 49-14, State College leading Altoona here at Memorial Fields. Mountain Lions offense will get the football back, trailing by 35. Another big run for State College. It's such an impressive offense because they are so balanced. And there are some games when you'll say, wow, Freiburg 5 touchdown passes. And then tonight you say, all right, he hasn't really had to do much at all because these running backs are just so talented.
That's what makes this team so great. We saw them play against CD East. Freiburg came out for the first time, at least in my history with the State College team, watching them. For the first time, Freiburg really had a very bad start, threw a few interceptions, wasn't on par with what he usually is doing. Keaton Ellis stepped up. Other guys stepped up and got the job done. And every night, like you said, John, it seems like that's what it comes down to. Tonight, Drazen Green, a great night. Isaiah Edwards as well. I'd say this is the most collective victory that we've seen thus far for the Little Lions.
And that's what you want to see at this point of this season. One regular season game left next week, and then it's the playoffs. This is a State College team that they have their sights set far beyond week 10 of the season.
Definitely, they have the potential to make a state championship run. They have the depth, they have the numbers, they have the experience as well, which is one of the most overlooked attributes, I believe, in successful teams at any level. You got to have experience. Veteran leadership is huge, especially when you're playing with young players at the high school level.
And it seems that year in and year out, State High making the playoffs. They have guys who have been there, they've done it before, and we'll see if they're able to take the next step. And Farrell, Russell down on contact Matthew Crow on the tackle on special teams.
Senior, we haven't seen him too much, but he's getting time tonight. Usually a linebacker, a huge hit on special teams, and keeps driving him back after he hits him too.
Clock moving once again at halftime with State College leading by 35 points. The rule here in Pennsylvania, if you're leading by 35 or more, the clock will run for the entirety of the second half, barring possession changes.
Penalties as well. That's one other thing, but we ran into this one time last year for State College. It is heading into the half, so it has to happen before the half. And that definitely changed the entire dynamic of this game. But it's good to see the guys that are practicing night in and night out for the State College team finally get their shot tonight.
Marcus Day back in. That quarterback was the starting quarterback, went one drive, a run-heavy drive for Altoona, which got him from their own 40 to the State College 10. He keeps himself. Marcus Day, similar frame to Freiburg. Both quarterbacks listed at 6'4", 200. They can move pretty well.
They can, and it's not that they have breakaway speed, but when they step up, they can make some people miss, and they have some speed to get by and pick up a first down. That's absolutely huge. It adds a whole other venue, whole other attribute to the offense that the defense has to look out for and prepare for upcoming for game plan.
Around the edge, first down and more for Altoona. Up towards midfield, Kyle Murray.
Murray, the ball carrier. Tackled me by Nutelski.
And at this point, it's pretty much just for pride for Altoona. With a running clock, score 49-14. You're not going to come back and win this game. You just got to leave it all out there. You have guys like Day who are getting an opportunity on the field that usually wouldn't.
Avery McCauley in at running back. Under 10 minutes remaining. State College up 49-14. Day keeps. Jump cut gets a yard.
Marcus Day, the ball carrier. Tackled me by Solman.
And one of the big things about playing State College in the Mid-Penn Commonwealth, there aren't a lot of teams close to here. So the closest bus drive you'll have is 2 hours. Altoona is the exception to that rule. Everyone else outside is at least an hour and a half to 2 hours because we are right in the middle of central Pennsylvania, surrounded by a lot smaller schools that are not in the Mid-Penn Commonwealth.
Yeah, in this region of Pennsylvania, they've had an impressive season when it comes to high school football. Some local area schools having really good seasons. Pass almost intercepted through the hands of Nutelski.
Third down, Altoona.
That was would have been a very difficult ball to pick off, but definitely a possibility there. It was low, but he had an opportunity to bring it in. Nonetheless, third and long still for this Altoona team.
Another senior coming in at linebacker, almost with the INT. Under 8.5 minutes to go. Third down and 9. Altoona with the football, trailing by 35. First meeting between these two sides since 2009. 47th all-time meeting. Screen to Murray. Swallowed up at midfield.
Test will be to number 83, Kyle Murray.
Pick up a 4th and 5 to go.
One thing I notice
Tackled me by Solman.
about Day is that he really doesn't have that presence so much that McCarthy has when he is in the pocket. McCarthy's very comfortable. He knows what he's doing. Day, on the other hand, little jittery, looking around the field rapidly. With him only being a sophomore, that comes with experience. It's something that you're going to have to improve on if you're going to take the helm next year.
Another low kick. Good bounce. Howell dodges one defender. Low-key Howell dodges 2, now 3. Shakes off another one. Low-key Howell up to the 30.
Number 21, Loki Howell on the return for State
And he
College.
nearly got a hole. He was almost going to take that one back. He had one man to meet, but he was driven down by Altoona. And one of the things about any back that I've seen for State College is they're so good in and out of their cuts. They'll lead you one way and then jump back the other way. It's so deceiving and so difficult to see coming, especially for guys like Ellis, Cohen Russell, and Drazen Green, who have that breakaway speed.
And this offense for State College is designed to get those guys in space. It's similar for Altoona. This RPO spread offense leaves the fields open. You get your receivers, your running backs matched up one-on-one with guys in space. And State College all season, and really the past few seasons against Coach Matt Lintel, their guys have just made plays. And Jaden Sider will take a timeout. State College trying to sort out their offense with the backup unit in there. State High leads it 49-14 from Memorial Field. 6:49 to go in the fourth. This is high school football on CNET.
At the conclusion of tonight's game, the winning team will receive the Friday Night Final trophy courtesy of WJAC and Cummings Trophy and Engraving. Watch Friday Night Final on 6 News tonight at 11 for game highlights and more.
.649 to go in the fourth. State College leading 49-14 after the timeout by the Little Lions. Jaden Sider back in at quarterback. Fires to his left. Finds Ilya Stremikov.
Brought down by Altoona's Adrian Snezik, junior backup running back, so maybe we'll see him later on in tonight's matchup. We haven't seen him on the offensive end tonight.
Stremikov, another one of those seniors for the Little Lions. 5 yards on the completion. Similar out route completed by Sider, in rhythm moves the chains. Dreyer on the reception.
Sider has a pretty tight spiral on those balls. We've seen him check in at quarterback very few times up until this point, this game, I should say, but it's been pretty impressive when it comes to throwing the ball.
And State College does run a package where they'll put the 6'4" Tommy Freiberg out at receiver, oftentimes in those goal line situations, and have Sider floated up to him. Third straight throw finds Howell. Loki Howell blazing across the 15 to the 46. 14, 12-yard gain.
I'd love to see one of these backup guys that really haven't seen the field much get a score here for State College or for Altoona. With that being said, we've seen Isaiah Edwards was the only score for State College in the second half because the second stringers have been in all night. But of course, he works interchangeably with Drazen Green on the first team. So I'd love to see one of these guys that we really don't call their name too often get a touchdown.
Clock ticking towards the 5-minute mark in the fourth. Sider once again, pressure, flush down. Picking up positive yardage towards the sticks. Jaden Sider Had 3 Altoona defenders around him. Find space.
And going back to that hit there from Lawhead on Sider, it's good to see that hasn't spiraled into something dangerous, because that's the last thing you want to see is players taking cheap shots at each other, going after each other maliciously. Lawhead did the right thing. He went over and apologized, kind of put his hand out to the State College sideline. That's smoothed everything over.
One's on the carry. One still on his feet. Jack One's inside the 10.
Juan's a sophomore. On the chart, they have him listed as a quarterback, but hey, why not? Let's throw him in at running back. He didn't do a terrible job right there. A big gain on the play.
Yeah, they mentioned things not spiraling out of control. Oftentimes, you'll see that more in these lopsided games, especially when there's a rivalry in there. But you'll see that more times rather than a close game, which is what you may expect.
Because one team has nothing to lose, and they want to get in the other team's head, and of course the other team doesn't want to back down. We saw that a little bit with CD East, the last game we broadcast here on CNET.
Now Zach Betts gets the carry. That goes nowhere. Stop for a loss. Betts in H-back, also plays defensive line. Sean Garland on the tackle. So we're seeing a host of Little Lions get some touches from the running back position.
Really by committee here, a revolving door of running backs, and I have no problem with it. As long as these guys know what they're doing, they're not going to get injured. I love to see it.
Again, Betts lining up in the backfields. Under 4 minutes to go in the fourth. And Betts stopped at the line of scrimmage. 3 defenders there for the defense, led by Tyrone Deloach. Third and goal from the 12. State High up 49-14, 3.5 to go in the fourth.
Zach Betts, 6'3", 215. Usually we see him on the defensive line at the defensive end position, but checking in at running back, he's a big guy. You don't want to see him running towards you.
3rd and 13. Again, it's Betts. Lowering that shoulder inside the 10. Well, that's exactly what you were talking about, Cooper.
It was just looking at him, the eye test. He's bigger than pretty much everyone out there. And I never thought we'd see him take a snap at running back, but he's taking a few right now.
4th and goal, State College at the 9. They're thinking about going for it, and Coach Lintel will keep him on the field. 49-14, State College leading. And the Lions stay out there. 10 seconds to snap, but Altoona sideline making some noise. And a whistle prior to the snap.
This will change a lot if it's a false start for State College.
And it is a false start against State College. Backs things up 5 yards to the 14. And the offense will stay on the field. 2:28 to go. State College leading by 35. Clock now running. You can see the confusion in the play calling in with this backup unit for State College. Sider to throw. Pressure. Still looking towards the end zone, intercepted. Altoona's defense holds tall. Nick Pettucci on the pick of the end zone, takes it out to the 10.
And that throw was intended for him. Went right in his hands, really didn't have to move. Probably would have been a better call just to go down in the end zone, take a touchback and move to the 20. Instead he tries to run it out, but still, there's actually a flag that came out on the play, too, as well.
Ineligible receiver against State High. Penalties decline. So it is Altoona football forcing the turnover just over 2 minutes. 2:03 to be exact. 49-14, State College leading potentially the final drive of tonight's matchup. And this renewed rivalry. Altoona back in the mid-pen. Marcus Day to the 15. 4 yards in the carry. Things starting to slow down. These two high-paced offenses really went back and forth. We saw a whole bunch of drives in that opening frame, but since then, really slowed down.
At their own 16.
Minute 20 now in the fourth. McCauley still going across the 35. Gang tackles to the 39. Avery McCauley finding space. And it is definitely getting colder here. We were checking our phones.
No,
it said
I refuse.
50 degrees
I refuse
is the
to
real
believe.
feel here.
We won, I think it was 53 pregame. It had to be at least 40. And it's even colder now with this wind kicking in.
McCauley again. Between the tackles. Nothing there.
And I love this energy that I see from both the State College sideline and the Altoona sideline. Of course, you expect it from State College. They're winning. It's going to be a big win for them. They'll advance to 8-1. But on that big fourth down play, the Altoona sideline was getting pumped up too, making some noise as well. So I love to see everyone still fighting. That's the type of mentality you need if you want to win games.
Warren Yakic on that last stop. Oh. Ball bounces high and incomplete.
Pass intended for Jared McMullen, ricocheted right off his shoulder pad, and Altoona's lucky that they got away with that one. It was really up for grabs, but fell in an area where no one was.
15, 14, 13. Clock is moving in the fourth. 3rd down and 7. Altoona trailing 49-14. Will we see one final play? And we will not. The State College Little Lions move to 8-1 of the season, 5-1 in conference play. And another convincing victory for State College senior night. A renewed rivalry, lopsided affair.
It really was one-sided. State College dominated. They came out. They did everything they had to do. You mentioned early on in the game the offense was doing great, but the defense held them to 0 for the first 2 quarters as well. So you really can't change much. You just got to never be satisfied, always try to improve and keep moving forward. State College is catching their stride right at the perfect time. You can't change that. Keep doing what you're doing. They advanced, like you said, John, 8-1. They have their last game against Cumberland Valley. They got to keep their stride against them and then keep it going into the playoffs. It's a big one, even though Cumberland Valley really hasn't been the team that they have been in years past, a power in the Mid-Penn Commonwealth.
Focusing on State College, 49 points offensively. Your defense holds the opponents to only 14. Special teams played well in addition to the offense and defense. Is there a group that you're most impressed by?
Special teams has always been there for State College. Maybe not a group. I'll pick an individual, Drazen Green. He's really separated himself in the running back pack. Of course, you have Isaiah Edwards, who's very, very good, very talented. But Drazen Green came out, and you really can't put it into words. His mentality, the way that he was carrying himself on the field, it was like no one could stop him. And that's the type of mentality that he has to have. He had 2 touchdowns tonight. Hopefully he can continue that success for State College. He can be a very important piece, and he's only a sophomore. So talented, and he's very young as well.
State College victorious 49-14, the final here at Memorial Field. The Lions take the 47th all-time meeting between State College and Altoona. For my broadcast partner, Cooper Deck, our production team here, our producer, Matt Burns, thank you so much for joining us throughout this entire State College high school football season. Signing off from Memorial Fields, I'm John Gross. Have a great night.